YouTube, what's going on? I bet you thought that I forgot about you. Well, I did. I didn't forget about you guys. The problem is that with school that just started, I've had so much stuff to do right off the bat that's been like impossible for me to make a video. But it's funny because my dad cares more about me not making videos than you guys do. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know if you guys care or not, but my dad keeps sending me emails saying that I need to make videos. Here's just one, for example. You have nearly 16,000 subscribers and no videos in the last couple of months? What the hell? Pop. So big shout out to my dad. Woo! I'm making a video. Alright, let's get going.
What do you watch when you're on the web? Iron in my underwear. It's funny, smart, and exceptionally well read. Iron in my underwear. You'll want to subscribe ASAP.
So there's so many scarring moments and such little time to tell them. There's one in particular that I've been saving for you guys. And you might be asking yourself, why have you waited so long to tell us the story, Tyler? I thought we had a kind of a mutual agreement going on that when something scarred you, you tell me about it. Thanks, overly concerned guy I don't know. Well, the reason for that is that the neighbors of mine that I'm going to be talking about, they go to my university. And so if they see this video, it might be a little awkward if I see them on campus. And so fingers crossed that they don't. Ugh. So let's just jump right into how my neighbors scarred me. So when I was in first grade, I moved into my new neighborhood, and I didn't know anyone. I didn't know any of the kids, and you know, when you're a little kid and you're first trying to meet neighbors, you just kind of wander the neighborhood and just kind of see who you can meet. I was one of those leashed kids as a child, so any chance I got to run free from my house, I always took advantage of. Then finally one day, I ended up meeting the neighbor girls who lived up the street. Now, to keep them private, we're gonna say their name is the Smiths. That's very generic, that way they don't know. If they see this, they're gonna know. So anyway, it wasn't necessarily these girls who scarred me that much, it was really their dad. Now what should have tipped me off that their dad is kind of batshit crazy is a couple different things. But the first time I ever met him, he was sitting on a lazy boy all by himself, watching Rugrats and laughing hysterically, just in his own little world. Now don't get me wrong, I love Rugrats just as much as the next kid, but I was a fucking kid. I remember trying to play it off like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, your dad watches Rugrats with you guys, and they're just like, oh no, he just loves Rugrats, he's just like a big kid. Yeah, that happens. But what really scarred me were a couple of things. I remember the next time I was over there, for some reason, the dad thought it'd be really cool to show off to all of us by eating dog food. Let me just play this back for you really quick. He thought it'd be cool to eat dog food in front of some first graders. When was this ever cool? When was eating dog food ever cool in history? I'd really I'd love to just Google this shit and find out when dog food and eating it in front of other people was ever considered like, oh yeah, dude, eat that dog food. Oh shit. High five, double high five. No, you can't even see, I'm not even excited anymore because it's not cool. Granted, I thought Jinko jeans, chain wallets, and being in boy bands was really cool. Now at least I can admit now that was a little weird. I wonder what's going through this guy's head now, like if he ever thinks back to that day, like, wow, maybe I shouldn't have eaten dog food to impress these little kids. But what really scarred me were his freakouts. He would freak out over just the smallest little things. Like, we'd always go to each other's houses and like just have snacks or whatever for lunch or something like that over the summer. I remember one time we were eating over their place and the dad comes into the room and he says, "This isn't a goddamn grocery store. Eat at your own house." I'm 9, and we're eating PB&Js. Dude, here's my lemonade stand money, man. Knock yourself out. Go buy a bunch of jars of Jif. Another time we were riding in the car with this guy, and I was in the front seat with him for some reason, and we were talking about the movie Liar Liar, like it just came out. And I was like, oh yeah, Liar Liar is just a really funny movie. And the girls are like, yeah, I want to see Liar Liar. And the dad turns around and it's like, Liar Liar is not a movie for ladies. And one of the girls under her breath was like, well, I don't want to be a lady. And the dad flips shit. He pushes on the brake, pulls over. We're on the interstate. He pulls over on the curb and he says, "Don't you ever say that!" Yeah, because nothing makes little 10-year-old girls want to be ladies than their dad freaking the fuck out of them. Now, can you imagine how awkward this is for me being in the front seat right next to this fucking lunatic? Because I'm just being like, I mean, I guess it wasn't that good of a movie. Ah, okay. I think I'll just walk home now. Is that cool? Or like, I'll hitchhike, or, I'd rather take my chances with an axe murderer picking me up than being in the car with you right now. There are so many more things about this guy that really scarred me, but there's one last thing in particular that really just was crushing to my youth. So it was Christmas time, 1st or 2nd grade, and we had just unwrapped all of our presents at my house, and then afterwards, normally, kids call each other, go over to those places to see what kind of gifts they got. And so we went over, my sister and I went over to their place, and they were showing off all of our toys, and I remember being like, oh yeah, Santa got me this, and Santa got me that. And the dad was like, oh yeah, Santa got you those toys? Yeah, Santa's not real. What? Santa's not real? What the fuck's the matter with you? I'm in 1st or 2nd grade. Where the fuck do you get off telling me Santa's not real? What is seriously wrong with you? I'm surprised he just didn't go on to say, oh yeah, and I left out that there's no such thing as true love. Your parents had you by mistake. No matter how hard you try in life, they'll never achieve anything. And the Easter Bunny's not real. Neither is Tooth Fairy. Alright, that's about it. So that was My Neighbor Scarred Me. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm also, within the week, or probably next week, I'm going to be making a briefs video showing you guys my new apartment because I moved in and out of the fraternity and moved into this apartment. I thought you guys should be able to see it, and I'll put that in a briefs. Hopefully I'm making another Scarred video very soon, a month and a half or whatever. It was just way too long to be away from you guys. I love you guys. I'm in love with you. My butt itches.